I love French cleat storage. I love how easy it is to rearrange things, and I equally love creating custom holders for all my tools. I've got this simple Craftsman ratchet set that, comes with this holder right out of the packaging. That's not too bad in and of itself, but because I've moved to so many French cleat, wall hanging accessories as a woodworker, I just find this ends up in a drawer and it's kind of hard to get out, and I don't love how these, sit in the side here. They fall out if you're carrying it around, and so I'm gonna kind of overbuild a holder for these to go on my French cleat wall, just with some scraps of ash, a couple of pieces, 3/4 inch material, and about half of that here, I guess 3/8, and then I've got a piece of maple that I'm gonna plane down here in just a minute to kind of be the holders for each of the sockets. Welcome to my corner of the garage. Let's go ahead and get into the build. Now, I know I said I was going to make the little holders out of maple, but full disclosure, I accidentally milled it down a little too thin and it was too loose. So I grabbed a piece of cherry, and here I got a nice tight fit to hold each of those sockets in place. The stock is right at a 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch, since that is what the socket set is, and I'm going to go ahead and cut these in lengths of a 1/2 inch each to hold each of the sockets. I'm just installing a little spacer that's going to keep all of the sockets the exact same distance from the front ledge. And so I'm just putting each piece in, but realize that they kind of need some rounded edges because it gets stuck in there. So I'm just knocking off the edges with a little bit of sandpaper there. And then the fit is nice where it's loose, but it's still a snug fit. I want to make sure and put the size of the socket facing forward. And so with its position right up against that little spacer, and then in the right orientation so I can always see the size, I'm going to put a little CA glue onto that little piece of cherry, position it right where I need, and then grab a pencil to press down on that while I remove the socket, then hit it with a little activator. And I'll reinforce these later, but right now I'm just trying to get them glued in place. So I got one down, and then the next step is the same, but I'm also going to add another little spacer in between them so I have nice equal spacing between each one. Now that I've got the first row done, you can see that, they're nice and sturdy on there. They're not just going to fall off. It's not like sitting on a ledge. But also notice that the orientation of each one is very different. You can't just stick them, all straight across and expect to be able to see your measurements. You'll also notice that I'm going to put the second row kind of in the windows in between each of the ones in the front. It is elevated some, but I still want to be able to see them between the front row. I left some space in the front row so there's a place for the ratchet to go. So that's what I'm drilling out right now. The hole I'm drilling right now is for the extender to rest in, and then the block immediately to its left is for the adapter from 1/2 inch to, I can't remember if it's 3/8 or 1/4 inch. I'm attaching this corresponding piece of French cleat on the back, and you could honestly, mount this however you want. If you don't have a French cleat system, you could screw this directly to the wall or something like that. This isn't as important as obviously the process of making the little holder for the little sockets themselves, but anyway, hopefully this gave you an idea for something you may want to incorporate in your own shop.